Hi guys, and welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 895. This review is probably gonna be quite short because it was very action filled. It was mostly showing off Luffy's ability as Snakeman and very action packed. So not a lot to talk about, but still some things to talk about. I'm gonna add to a lot of the things I said in the live reaction, maybe just like kind of repeat and expand on some of the things. But one of the things that I kind of mentioned in the live reaction was that we don't really get inside Luffy's head a lot. Like most of the thoughts and opinions or whatever he has, he says out loud, like, oh, I'm so hungry, and I'm just saying whatever's on my mind, and he says ow a lot of times. But what we get into Katakuri's head a lot, which is something we have done a lot in these chapters. But because of the previous chapter where we got into Luffy's head quite a lot, and we got like an insight to what he's planning and just how, maybe not carefully, but how much he's thinking about this fight and how to win it. I think it's very interesting to go into Katakuri's head now to see that he's actually quite confused as to what the heck is going on, because a lot of the times he's like, what is going on? What is this? What I thought I dodged this, but apparently it's very, very interesting because it shows that this ability is definitely throwing Katakuri off his game. And we see him like dodge a lot block attacks a lot rather than dodge it, which is usually what he uses his future ability to do. So I think it's very interesting just to see that a different strategy and Luffy choosing speed over strength is definitely the right choice here, because Katakuri can't react in the same way that he could before, and he's definitely a bit more on the defensive here. Another thing I noticed when I was rereading the chapter is that obviously this form is made for Luffy to be faster. He says that in the beginning of the chapter, but I think what is interesting to notice, or as far as this chapter goes at least, he is mostly like faster when it comes to the parts of his body that are covered with armament haki, so his arms and probably his legs, although he didn't utilize them all that much in this chapter. So when Katakuri goes for like a body hit, like when he does the swinging thing kinda, Luffy doesn't dodge it despite the fact that he's so fast that he probably should be able to do so. So I think the speed is mostly in attacks and not as much like made for dodging. It probably could be if he utilized his legs more, maybe that's how he could improve in this form. But I just found it interesting that with the speed he has, he found it hard to dodge. So obviously this type of fighting, or this form, Snakeman, it's more suited for very rapid fire attacks, like attacks that make it so that the opponent doesn't really have a chance to strike back because he doesn't have the defense that he can have in probably, I should have looked up what it was called, Palman or whatever the other form was called. He doesn't really have that kind of defense because, as I said, the armament haki isn't covering as much as his body as it was before. It's very concentrated in his arms and legs. And he also isn't utilizing his legs as much as he probably should. So I think that's very interesting just to see how he distributed his power. One of the reasons that he might not be dodging and utilizing his leg might just be that because he's tired and he prefers punching over everything else. So it's very common that when you're tired, you kind of just go back to the default thing, like you go on muscle memory, you go on the things you're used to doing, and if you're a fighter of the kind of type that Luffy is, you would go back to your default punch everything, which is something Luffy may have to learn to not do. So maybe utilize his legs a bit more, utilize speed and just like the terrain that he's in, because he does have a lot of space to dodge and run around. And I think that could be to his advantage if he could run a lot around Katakuri. So I thought that was interesting, just the way that it was emphasized that he is faster, but he's still not able to dodge Katakuri's attacks. Obviously Katakuri is also a fast person himself, So that can also contribute. I feel like if he was against a slower opponent, this might not be an issue, but this is a special fight. Katakuri is very good at everything, so that's very interesting. Are there more things I want to talk about? I talked a little bit about this as well in the live reaction, but I do think we're nearing the end here, just because Luffy is very tired. Luffy is like very beat up, so we should be nearing the, I mean, there is a little who will be the victor now, but those are Shonen Jump comments, not Oda comments, so we can't really take those for granted that the victor will be found in the next chapter, although I do expect that to happen just because it's been a long fight and I don't see Luffy lasting much longer. Stamina has never really been an issue for him, but just in a fight like this where he's taking this much damage, I don't think we're gonna see him last that much longer. But I am also interested in seeing, as I said in the live reaction, just how he's gonna win or how the fight will go down, because obviously if Katakuri wins, he's gonna kill Luffy. Because, yeah. I mean, it's not like Luffy has been talking to him, been like, oh, I have a great personality, don't kill me. Like, he's maybe done with... He's not really done that with some other opponents, but he probably could do that. Like, Fujitora took a pretty good liking to him. I don't think I have much else. Art was great, as I mentioned in the live reaction. I really liked the art, and the fight was very dynamic. Very great shots. I love Luffy's design. I think this is definitely one of my preferred design for him in any of his gear forms. Just it's very nice to see the way that it was put together, how his body was proportioned, his hair. I really like the flowy hair thing, and the way that the armament hockey was proportioned. Very, very nice. Just it really shows where he proportioned or distributed his strength. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that happens when it's very action-packed, so you can leave a like, you can comment, and you can subscribe, and until next time, bye.